Hello, abnormal family. I hope everybody is doing well. Well, we're getting closer to the weekend, and that means closer to the boots on the ground Saturday night at 8 p.m. I got Sarah excited. She is so ready to go, she can't hardly stand it. Especially after Pam got her that new light. She really likes using it. And it does make a big difference, and we thank you, Pam, for sending us the light and all the other equipment you sent. Um, Also, everybody, I wanted to let you know that we have a merchandise page now, which is doing really, really well. We have a no trolling hoodie and t-shirt that is doing really, really well. So go check out our merchandise store. The link is in the description of this video. Thank you very much for your support, and let's get into this encounter. I live in a quiet Pennsylvania town where nothing extraordinary happens. However, two eerie experiences have stayed with me, leaving an almost unbearable remembrance and memory into my brain. My first encounter occurred near the train tracks, about a mile from my house. The woods surrounding the tracks were dense, casting long shadows in the fading light. My friend Sarah and I were exploring, enjoying the serene atmosphere. As we walked along the tracks, Sarah suddenly exclaimed, "Oh my God," in a loud, startled tone. The woods seemed to swallow her words whole. But then someone or something from the woods repeated her phrase in her exact voice but slightly off. It sounded like a recording played backwards, with a slight delay. We exchanged nervous glances, our hearts racing. The atmosphere shifted from peaceful to unsettling. Without a word, we promptly left, eager to escape the unnerving feeling. That incident lingered in my mind, but I couldn't make sense of it. A year later, tragedy struck when a friend of a friend passed away in a car crash. Seeking solace and clarity, I walked to the train tracks at dusk. Sitting down on the tracks to gather my thoughts, I heard my name called, and my dad's voice, who had passed away 3 years prior. The voice seemed to come from the other side of the tracks, deeper in the woods. Despite knowing better, I crossed the tracks and entered the woods. Drawn by familiar voice, the trees towered above, casting long, ominous shadows. As I ventured deeper, the voice called my name again, this time more demanding. I responded, "Hello, Dad?" hoping for some closure or connection. Instead, I heard the emotionless reply, "Yeah, come over here. I want to show you something." The voice scared me. It scared me really bad. I was overwhelmed and scared. I stood frozen, unsure what to do. The voice seemed to come from a spot slightly ahead, hidden by a darkness. Suddenly, my adrenaline kicked in, and I turned back toward the train tracks. As I ran, the entity followed, its presence marked by an unbearable smell, like rotten eggs or composting carcasses of manure. A passing train momentarily distracted, allowing me to escape. I didn't dare look back. Shaken, I returned home, with my mind reeling over what had just happened. My mom was understandably upset due to my late arrival, but I concealed the truth. How could I explain something so bizarre and terrifying? I was delayed by a small car crash near the intersection. I lied, trying to convince my mom. She seemed worried, but didn't press the issue. That terrifying experience has stayed with me, leaving unanswered questions as a lingering sense of unease. Was it a malevolent spirit or something more sinister? Why did it mimic my dad's voice, and what did it want to show me? The encounter changed me. I avoided those woods and train tracks, fearing another confrontation. Even now, I do not go around that area. I think they call our names to try to trick us, to lure us, to try to get us out there with it where it has the advantage. That's my true thoughts on that. I think one of the things that they do also is, you said whenever it was sounding like your dad and everything, that you answered it back and said dad. And I think that, whenever we do that, we give it place. And when we give it place, we give it power. And when we give it power, then it gets authority. And then we start having trouble with it. Um, I think the best thing to do in those situations is probably not acknowledge it. Now, but of course, when you hear something like that, your first instinct is to acknowledge it. Like when I heard the crying baby in the woods, my first instinct was to go to it because, well, your instinct tells you that there's a child in trouble, and with me, it's go help them. But then you have to realize and kind of rationalize where you're at, and the odds of there being a baby in that location are slim to none. So you kind of have to take everything into consideration. You know, when we get out there in the woods and we start hearing things that we know that don't belong there, I think we need to take a second to rationalize what's going on, what's around us, and what is the probability of that actually happening. And a lot of times we get carried away with adrenaline rushes and stuff, and we don't think clearly. We want to act on it because we want to help somebody if they need help. That's just most of our human nature, not everybody's. So it's pretty much I don't know if y'all have heard of it, but it's a totality of circumstance. And I think we have to take that into deep consideration whenever we're out there and what our actions can bring. Guys, thank you for listening to this. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. We'll see you on the next one, guys. And don't forget, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will be boots on the ground. Sunday, at 8 o'clock p.m., we will be doing a sit-down. So we look forward to seeing you all then. Thanks, guys, for your support. It means a lot to us.